Welcome back, mommies. It is the moment live. You've got all three of us back in the hot seat again. We're doing a big wrap-up episode today because we've missed one another.
Yes.
Welcome back, everybody. Meredith was in Chicago this weekend. Now she's back. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about on the show today because we've got lots to get into. We are going to talk about Andrew Tate was arrested over the weekend. He and his brother are facing 38 new criminal charges, and he was wearing a sassy little outfit that the internet loves. Spain won the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Sarah's into it.
I'm into it. I'm really into it.
We're gonna
It's
hear
complex.
Yeah, I'm really
into
interested.
it.
I'm really interested to hear you tell us why. Meanwhile, we were just talking about this off air. JD and Usha Vance have had their baby, and there's like a whirlwind of baby making over in the White House, and we have thoughts. And Meredith is coming to tell us all about how Dave Portnoy is coming for Tom Brady, which seems unwise to me.
Yeah, I think we'll talk about it. We'll get to it.
We're gonna get there. Okay, let's start with Andrew Tate. So, Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate were arrested in Miami after the UK requested their extradition to face 38 new criminal charges. This is like a dramatic escalation. You know, they've been sort of in the crosshairs.
Yeah.
Well-deserved, but they've sort of skirted the law for quite some time.
Internationally.
Internationally. Remember the Greta Gerwig thing? And Greta Thunberg.
I would love if it was Greta Gerwig.
Greta Gerwig should
would.
make a biopic about Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate perhaps wearing this outfit. Can we throw this?
1,000%.
This has been like the silver lining of this. Is like,
I can't.
what is he
It
wearing?
is so bizarre.
Okay, let's talk about it. We're going to talk about it in just 1 second. I just want to quickly. Andrew Tate has. He's 39. He's our age. A little bit older than I am. He's facing 7 counts of rape, 3 counts of arranging or facilitating sex trafficking or exploitation, charges involving indecent images of children. I'm just realizing that this is a way to get banned on TikTok. Please do not ban us. Tristan Tate, his younger brother, faces 2 counts of R-word, 3 counts of trafficking. Now it's being determined whether the U.S. will extradite them. So,
I don't see why we would. We love that here.
We love that.
We love that.
That's on brand.
I agree.
Like, I just think that's why they knew they could come here.
Yeah.
Like, we're not prosecuting this stuff. We don't care. We have a president who has all of these similar charges against him. I think I don't like the Tate brothers. I don't think it's smart, anything that they do, but I would say it's strategic to come to the United States.
Yeah, I think that's true. Also, there's a new prime minister of the UK.
Yes.
And I'm sort of curious whether that turnover might
Be
slow
part of
it
them?
down.
In a good way or a bad way?
Oh, I thought it might have
I don't know.
accelerated
Oh,
this.
you think
knows?
accelerated? Yeah, hard to say. What do you think?
I think at least we're getting a little bit of justice. I think they're being held right now in prison. I just need something.
Can I just say,
need
when I heard that
something.
they were in Miami, I was like, that sounds cushy. Like, I was just like, what's in
What's
Miami?
federal prison in Miami?
Well, but they're not even federal prison.
They're just being
They're-
held.
they're
'Cause
being held, right?
Yeah,
Because
because
they're
it's not
like
US.
like-
I'm like, I
the
don't know.
jailhouse.
I feel like it's probably like a Holiday Inn Express where you can see the beach.
Oh, fine.
You know what's so odd about the Tate brothers to me is like they are 2 things at once. When I read this and when I experience them, I'm like, these are like criminals in the scariest, most obvious,
yeah.
most
Like
straightforward way.
sociopathic.
Like in the
yes.
most classic
Yes,
sense. I'm
absolutely.
like, this is true. And then on the other hand, there's, millions of men on the internet that are like, yeah, this is my role model. Maybe less so now, but for a long time.
Oh no, for sure.
Yeah.
And if it's not the Tate brothers, it's like the Tate brothers in a different form.
Yes.
Like it's just they like somebody else, like all those Manosphere guys from the documentary.
Yep.
How close are they're literally like, I don't know, a week away from being a Tate brother.
100%. I was watching
Except for my boy, HS Tiki Talkie.
Don't know who that is.
I'm an HS Tiki Talkie apologist.
There was Jubilee that does the like debate thing. So they did one with Mark Manson, I think Manson. He's like a writer and he considers himself like a feminist for men. And then he talked to a bunch of like manosphere.
What's a feminist for men?
A male feminist. I don't know, whatever. No. The opposite. Like a man who considers himself a feminist.
Oh, I
he's
see,
an
I see, got it,
ally.
got it. He's an ally.
You could say
He's an ally.
identifies as an ally to like women's movements that are more progressive.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
like
yes,
I think
I
he
got it.
would
A
call
man
himself
feminist
a male.
to me is like somebody who's like you can't have sex with a woman because when they're born, or like when they're
Well, but
conceived.
That's basically who he was debating
Right, of
against.
course,
And so I
yeah.
saw all these clips of these men that it was like all about like, but her body count, but feminism is about like letting women do porn. And he was like,
You know what I love though about the outfit is that I think that online ridicule, particularly by women, is really important.
that's a really good point. Yeah. Like, because that is men's biggest fear.
I have a hot take.
Give it to me.
I'm like, I don't care about the outfit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, these are the
I think it
things-
brings lightness to something that is so like evil and horrific. And I think it's like, what else do we have no power over this?
I know, but I'm like, I'm of the mind of the more we do the memification of the Tate brothers, the more we do the like, oh, actually,
Normalization.
yeah, that's kind. Or, and you know what? I'm guilty of it too with my jokes about HS Tiki Talkie. But like, the more we do that, instead of focusing on the fact that like they have, I'm not going to
criminals.
say
Yeah.
these out loud because
Yeah.
they will get us in trouble
Yeah.
on the social media apps. But like, their stuff isn't like, hey guys,
not
I
light.
accidentally defrauded my investors.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
so deeply
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
You shouldn't defraud your investors either, but I'm just saying, to me, there is like a scale. There's
Yeah,
certain things that people
fair.
do, and when
I
it's like
think-
against
fair.
children,
Yeah, that's
against
just-
women.
it's just-
That's what
yeah.
makes it such an interesting, like, that's why I find the Tate brothers to be so fascinating. It's like, to me, they are so like, I mean, I've already said this, I'm making a point again, but like, they're just such classic criminals, like in the most traditional sense of the word. And yet we experience them as pop culture icons. Yeah.
Fair. And so the clothing thing might.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
increase
like,
their status
but
there, yeah.
listen, it's not like I'm not guilty of doing that with even like with Trump, but it's sort of,
I think
you know,
when you feel so, without power, like disenfranchised, I think women sort of.
I also do think it's a, like whether or not it's the appropriate thing in this situation, which I actually like, genuinely, it's nice to sit between. I'm like, actually, I agree with both of you. And I think it's, I'm always fascinated by, I'm afraid men are going to hurt me. Men are afraid we are going to ridicule them. And
Yes.
it is such like a
Yes.
funny power,
Funny.
yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of tons of men, Spain defeated Argentina in the 2026 FIFA World Cup,
Okay, tell us
and it
about
was
it.
phenomenal. I think what I'm Latin American, and so people think I should be rooting for Argentina, but Argentina has a very particular history. Beautiful place, but they really think of themselves as Europeans, not as Latin Americans. And it's kind of satisfying that, that the actual Europeans won.
Oh, that's so,
So,
funny.
I'm
yeah.
going to apologize for my ancestral colonizers, but
They're my ancestral colonizers too.
I have to say, Argentina just didn't behave. I don't know if you
What does
guys
that
saw
mean?
at the
Say more.
end, like the players started brawls at the end
Really?
of the World Cup. I don't know if you watched this.
No.
And then they turned away as Spain received their trophy and gave their backs to them. And then apparently led by Messi, exited without talking to media.
Wow, that's gross.
Sore losers when
Yeah.
it seemed like FIFA had set this up for them to win the entire
Right,
time.
yeah.
So
Especially
I think
because Messi is like, it's surprising to me, and like this is public image, is like Messi is viewed as such like he's like a family
the
man.
carve
and
out,
he's like,
right? But Argentina's done like racist
yeah.
right things, signals, all this
Yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like it's just
where the
not.
Was there a
Fun.
particular incident in the game that you think they felt sort of like, oh, this was an
Slighted.
unfair call, as opposed to like
I
just the
don't
general?
think they did much.
No,
you know,
no,
I'm not a soccer but
Well, when you're
enthusiast.
sitting at this table, you've become
that's
it for
true.
us.
I'm
okay.
the soccer. I'm
You're
the
our
football.
Yeah, you're our
correspondent.
analyst.
But really, I just think they are sore losers. They played a terrible game,
Yeah.
and the antics were horrific.
Yeah.
And let's just highlight some of Spain, okay? Ferran Torres, who scored that last goal, that decisive goal, openly struggled with his mental health following a huge trade from Manchester City to Barcelona. And to reclaim his confidence, he sought help from a psychologist and now has been talking openly about his mental health,
Men going
how
to therapy.
other men need mental health
We love it.
treatment. Borja Iglesias. Okay, this is like a whole story a couple years ago, but the head of Spain's Football Federation forcibly kissed one of the female players after they won in 2023 without her consent, and he refused to play until this guy resigned.
Wow.
How many male allies do we really know like that?
Yeah, like so few. Like,
Right.
that is so shocking.
Refused to play
Get him
until
on
this
Jubilee.
guy
Get
was
him on
done.
Jubilee, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's another player who talks about
That's
his son with
great.
autism, Nico Williams. his mother fled from Ghana on foot while pregnant with his older brother,
Whoa.
to Spain. And so there's just a highlighting of like immigrants, of
Sure,
their
the immigrant
stories.
experience. I mean, it's too bad that Argentina had to end it like that, because I will say, overall, take the red card thing out of it. We have to, because it was a month and change long. It went on forever. It's too bad to have to end it like that when something has actually overall gone so well.
Yeah.
Like, overall, take the red card thing out of it with Trump.
yeah.
For the most part, everyone that has
The World Cup.
the World Cup
Yeah,
in
yeah, in
general,
general. No, yes,
has
yes.
been
Totally.
like a really positive thing in the United States.
Yep.
I think like it's actually
across the world.
healed some things
Yes.
between us and other countries.
Agreed.
I think
Yes.
that like, you know, I was concerned about how it would descend upon Los Angeles. I didn't feel like there was any extra traffic or anything crazy. There weren't
fantastic.
any bad incidences
Yep.
that
No.
we've really
Yep.
heard
That's
about.
true.
So like, I mean, I'm seeing footage of people
Well,
fighting
people-
each
yeah.
other at the Hillary Duff concert. Okay. And I'm sure there
Well,
have been
people
fights.
were saying when you take leaders out of it, everyone sort of can coexist and
Yeah.
have fun together.
Weren't you talking about this yesterday?
No,
About
I
like
don't
the
think so.
politicization of
Oh, yes. Sorry. Now I'm like, what was I doing yesterday? Well, no, because I thought your former boss, Scott Galloway, I thought he made a really great point about the World Cup. Like, this is probably 3 weeks ago, but he was like, it kind of feels like we're with our cousins.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes our parents don't get along, but we're all together for the summer.
Yeah.
And we're just having a blast.
We're just having fun.
And so, you know, as someone who's with her cousins, I can assure you that that is what happened. Although all my aunts and uncles get along, I know, humble brag. But I just felt like it was fun to be with other people and experience other cultures
Yeah.
and root for these teams that
See it around like in Boston,
Right.
in New York,
Yeah.
in
and
LA.
when the Knicks sort of happened, and then the World Cup really started
Yes.
amping up. So I think it's been a fun thing. So it's unfortunate that Argentina had to end it like this. But yes, I was on TMZ yesterday, and I was saying to Harvey and Charles, hello. I was saying, you know, because basically they said that Trump got booed during that when he brought up the trophy.
Yep.
And what they were saying is they're like, oh, I don't think that's political. I think that's about the red card. And I'm like, well, I think it's
What?
hard to say that when he got booed at the Knicks game in a very similar area of the country.
Well, and also the red card was a political move. Like he used his office of the presidency to involve himself in the World Cup.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean?
That is-
like,
it is
and then,
political.
and then to see that like none of it panned out.
Right. And for what?
For Argentina
right?
too,
For
like
what?
it just didn't
Yeah.
pan out. You know, there's
Yeah.
authoritarian leader there that's
Javier
very
Milei,
close, right?
yeah.
Very
Yeah.
close with Trump, and
I mean,
No
I
dice.
just think that people are booing Trump. They're not looking. When people were booing Trump at the World Cup, I don't think they were like, I'm booing him because of the red card.
No,
and that.
I
I
agree.
think they're booing him because he is deeply unpopular.
Yes, 100%. Well, speaking of deeply unpopular, let's talk about Vice President J.D. Vance and Second Lady Usha Vance, who welcomed their fourth child, a son named Alec Neil Vance, on July 19th. Everybody's healthy, but this birth marks the first sitting vice president to have a baby in 150 years.
What
That's
about presidents?
wild.
Was it Kennedy,
Kennedy had a baby in
that
the,
passed away?
that's
Patrick, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was Patrick.
Yeah. Kennedy had a baby in the White House. Who else had a baby? I think
That was probably the
think that's
last
probably
one.
the
Modern,
last
yeah,
one
modern
in the-
history.
Yeah.
wow, wow,
Um,
wow.
I also want to play before we like get into our.
What does
hot
that
takes
say to
about-
us? Like it's become an aging office.
It's become an aging office for sure. That's a
It's
really
not a
good
young
point.
person's game.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah, but like I also would say like the period of which you have to have children is pretty small for like, you know, if like take a Michelle Obama, right? Like
Yeah.
she probably had her
It
first
have to be
kid
someone
at
who's
30.
in the early
Yeah.
40s,
Right?
yeah, or a
Yeah.
president that comes in at 40.
Like by the time you're ready, like I mean, I feel like for a lot of people, by the time you're ready to have kids, your window has gotten so much smaller.
Yes.
So the other thing too is like there are people who maybe they've considered it, but they're like, well, what will that look like if I am having an aging, like I'm having a geriatric pregnancy in office? What would that do for my image? For some people, it might not look like a positive.
well, it's so
know.
interesting you say that because like I think in this instance it's exactly the opposite. Where
Right.
it's like they looked at this and they were like, "Oh, JD Vance is like not a beloved character anymore. He needs to differentiate himself from Trump. There's this pro-natalist movement in
Yes,
the
I
country.
think
There's
that's
been
part of the motivation.
Erica Kirk, you know,
Yeah.
allegations, and then all of a sudden Usha Vance is pregnant and she's reading to children, and like it seems like exactly what you're saying. it's an image thing.
But it
to
also
me.
just feels so out of step with the needs that others have. And I think some have rightfully pointed out that their health care is so much better than the
Oh,
average
yeah.
American.
Totally.
Right? They get to go out for mental health leave for
Right,
months.
totally.
Mitch McConnell gets to be in the ICU and gets paid for months.
I'm sure
And
they have
just, like,
nannies. I'm sure.
Healthcare, like, what are they paying for healthcare and what are they making for a cost of living? I think there's a lot of people who would have 4 kids if they could afford to have
Totally.
4 kids.
Lovett and her maternity leave that's not granted to anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a really good. I wonder how long her maternity.
Probably, and it's all paid.
Probably as long as you want it
I
to
was
be.
gonna say. I
Yeah.
was even thinking about that with healthcare. Like, I'm sure they do have traditional healthcare, but also like, no, they don't. They have doctors that like come into. You know what I mean? Like, it's all like that was also the thing. That's the thing with Trump is everybody's like, why are you going to Walter Reed Hospital when you can get everything done? Like, what is it that you
Yes.
need at Walter Reed that you
They
can't
can't
get
get
done
done
at
at
the
home.
White House?
They don't transport MRIs typically. Those are pretty.
Those
Yeah.
are pretty
Big
yeah.
machines.
Yeah. But it's like, why do you need so many MRIs, my friend? I just want to play a really quick clip of Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who, just for context, is the only gay cabinet member right now. I think the only gay.
The only.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The only openly, yes, exactly. Our dearly departed Lindsey Graham. But he made this joke to Jesse Waters. I just want to play it and let us talk about how gross it is.
The 1,000, the vice president's done it, chief of staff, the Caroline Levitt.
Caroline Levitt.
So
Stephen Miller.
Stephen Miller. So
You guys are very busy.
we know what their hobby is.
So, yeah, he made that joke to Jesse Waters after Jesse Waters, or I guess before Jesse Waters made the joke about men in the military being on testosterone and how women were going to have to be scared of that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to run.
But I do think, like, with the Trump accounts, with all of them having babies, like, I do think that it is a planned, I don't know, it feels propaganda to me. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody was on the show and they were kind of like, I don't know. Who was it? Remember?
Also, having a baby when
Yeah,
you're
who-
this
somebody-
age.
Somebody came on the show and we like saw you
We were
launched
like-
this and they were like,
No, like, I think they just want to have babies. And I
Yeah.
was like, you don't want to play my game?
yeah.
I think planning to have a baby, especially at some of these people's ages, isn't like that fun. If anyone has tried to conceive on purpose,
Yeah.
Except for Caroline's young.
Caroline's
Caroline
young.
is
She's
really
28.
young. Yeah.
But his
I
But
mean,
her husband's
husband's
like
a
80. Some
he's
old
an older
sperm.
gentleman.
Yeah. Which is like people talk people.
But like
that's
also we don't know if they used IVF. Like this may have not been like the easiest process. I
I'm
just wanna
sure
say,
it wasn't. Yeah.
Well, and I think they need to make it out
to be
that it was.
Yeah, yes,
too.
yes,
Like
yes,
that's the
yes,
other piece of it
yes.
because she was like, we had always said like we were good with 3, and like
then-
but. I mean, it's a cute baby. I'm always, I'm happy for
Sure.
people expanding
why
their
not?
families.
You can hold those two things at
Also,
once.
when you
Yeah.
see that clip of JD Vance going on Usha's like Peter Rabbit reading podcast, you're like, those people, that is an IVF baby if I've ever seen it. Like that was not a passion baby.
I don't fucking know. They're both so weird.
are
They're-
so
who
weird.
knows?
So
Yeah,
You
weird.
don't
true.
know. People
Yeah.
might like.
They might have like
They
a,
might be into some weird.
Seriously.
interesting
That's true. That's true. Fair enough. You never know. Couples are weird like that.
couples. There's so much like on the inside that we
That's
just
true.
don't see. And
That's really
maybe
true.
it works for them.
You know what?
Yeah.
None of my business. All right. Tell us what is our business.
You know what might not be somebody's business? This next story. So Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy, aka somebody I have a one-sided beef with, blasted Tom Brady, saying that the 7-time Super Bowl champion is lame and cringy in retirement, arguing that he's damaging his legacy by chasing viral moments. He specifically criticized Brady's stage feud with Logan Paul at the Fanatics Fest and their middle finger exchange at the World Cup. And also, he's saying this is because Tom Brady has this way too close of a relationship with Fanatics CEO Michael Rubin, who is very lame. Like, I will give Dave Portnoy
I
that.
want to hear about because I don't really know
don't know
who
who
he
that
is.
is.
Yeah.
Listen, Dave Portnoy is probably only saying this because he didn't get invited to Michael Rubin's white party. Even though
Oh,
he's-
that's the white party guy.
that's the new white party, which I think if I were in the Hamptons
Okay.
and the white party had the history that it
Yes,
has of
yes,
Puff
yes, the
Daddy, I
stigma,
would
the
say, you know
stigma.
what? Let's
I agree.
change it.
Let's
do
make a different
purple
color.
party. Yeah, let's do
you
something
know,
else.
So Anyway, I think a few things about this. Okay. First of all, I would say to Dave Portnoy, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Because
well, that's always the answer.
I remember when they used to hand out your fucking newspaper on the subway,
Yeah.
which was an ingenious thing to do at the time. And I'm not criticizing that. And I think he's made a lot of really savvy business decisions, and he's made some shitty business decisions. But anyway, your career is very, I would say, 60% built on what the Patriots were when you were coming up in the world. When Dave Portnoy launched Barstool, it was in Boston.
What year was
so it was
it?
like Patriots focused.
2000, I think technically like 2005, 2006.
Yeah.
That's like when
Okay.
they were handing out little,
Yeah.
you remember the Metro?
Yeah.
It was the Metro was in Boston. We had this like paper that you
Yeah,
could get
yeah,
on the train. It was
Oh,
free. It
okay.
it was
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
a USA Today
Yes,
light.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Barstool was basically doing that.
Yeah.
It was smart.
That's smart, yeah.
And then they
It's like
turned
guerrilla
more into a
marketing.
blog and
Yeah.
whatever. Okay. But like so much of it was hinging on the fact that the Patriots were so good, that Tom Brady was so good. So a lot of your career is built on the success of Tom Brady
Brady.
and having this incredible. Also, the Red Sox were really good at that
I was
time.
just
He
thinking
feels
that.
like a lover scorned.
Yes. And I guess my point is, my thought is, I'm not one to ever be a Tom Brady apologist, but when you take someone at about 23 years old and you put them in the machine of the NFL
Yeah.
and they never get to be 24, 25, 26, having a normal fucking life, it is
No.
not a surprise to me that at 47 or whatever he is
Yeah,
now,
it's-
you're
yeah.
like, I'm at the
A,
World
a-
Cup.
a lot of athletes, I
Yeah.
think.
Yes.
It's just.
And like
is
the
this
Alex
hurting?
Earl of it all. you
That's
know, like,
a little weird to me. She's way too young for him.
She's way too
Wait,
young,
what
but it
happened?
doesn't-
What happened? What happened?
He was dating, or like
They've been hooking up.
Yeah.
They've
Oh.
been, yeah, I know. That's
Oh.
but he's not criticizing him for that.
He's not criticizing, but what I was gonna say is like,
Tom Brady and her.
Tom
Yeah.
Brady, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But to, like
Oh, I know,
to
it's
your
not as bad as
point,
Dave.
Yeah.
like I've heard this a lot when it comes to celebrity is like you people often stay the same age they were when they first got famous because you don't really have to develop in the same way that you like.
I think it's hard. Especially sports, you're just doing one thing. You're
Well,
not
but also
like
it's like
meeting people. You're
people's-
not practicing how to be like a well-rounded human being.
well, and you also like don't get told no. Like having worked around a lot of celebrities is like you start to be around a lot of
Yes,
people,
people.
that yeah, and so this is like part of the theory of like Leonardo DiCaprio being with young people forever is
Right.
like he got famous very, very young and he can't really
But like to me, this is all stuff that like. Do you think that 20 years ago Tom Brady could get on stage with Logan Paul at a Fanatics Fest?
No.
No.
Could he flip somebody off at the World
Yeah.
Cup? No.
it feels like suddenly disinhibited.
Yes,
like he's
yes,
like,
yes,
I'm
yes.
living my best
Yeah.
life.
And at the end of the day, like, is he
I know, he's a
hurting
cheeseball.
anyone? And he's like, and Portnoy is saying like, you know, he's ruining his reputation, and like he could be the Michael
No.
Jordan. I'm like, oh, you mean the gambling
I was
addict?
gonna say Michael Jordan doesn't exactly have
Like
the best
Michael Jordan,
reputation.
whose father was probably because of gambling things. Like, I don't know. He's at the World Cup with his kids. He's flipping people off.
Yeah.
Is that the biggest?
Yeah.
I just
I
think,
know. Let the man in his facelift just have a
Right.
have
He's
their
not
own moment.
hurting anyone.
Yeah.
And like, I'm the first one to criticize Tom Brady. But here's my thought. I'm like, Dave Portnoy has this book that's out right now.
Yep.
It's, I think, number 3 or 4 on the New York Times bestseller,
Uh-huh.
which is
Dang.
impressive.
Whoa.
But
I
I'm
know.
also like,
He doesn't have the dagger. What's
it
the
doesn't have the dagger.
Cancel me if you
You
can.
think I didn't look that shit up? It doesn't have the dagger, but the book like 2 above it has the dagger, and that one's about like why we need Christian values. I'm
Oh,
like, what a surprise,
great.
you guys! By the way, the dagger means that like so many bulk orders have been purchased that it's looking suspicious,
Suspicious.
right? But I think first of all, how many like it's the summer? How many people are buying nonfiction memoir hardcover?
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
I also
other-
feel like especially his demographic. You know what I mean?
What is
like
his demographic?
like
middle-aged men.
Middle-aged men.
Yeah, like I think they would be at the airport to pick it up. But by the way,
they're right. They're really reading.
that's
right.
what I'm saying. Is like they're not the biggest readers.
Right. But the one above that, above him, I believe, is JD Vance's book Communion. So it's like it all kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But anyway, my whole point of this is that Dave's book, I don't think is causing enough of a stir for him.
And so he needs to
He
stir the
needs
pot.
something.
He's
Yeah.
a pot stirrer.
He's a pot stirrer.
He
and so
lives off pot
He's
stirring,
going
yeah.
to pick a fight with somebody who he would probably, if he saw him, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you.
Totally.
Let's take a photo as long as no one can tell how short I am.
Is the call her daddy admissions in the book?
So
Yeah.
I just threw this
Okay.
in there too. It's like this is one of the things that's came out in the book is that he was saying that in the book he claims, and neither of them have addressed this. Alex Cooper and Sophia Franklin, who were like the original Call Her Daddy, that they considered making false sexual harassment claims to get out of their Barstool contracts.
Okay.
Okay, let me rewrite the sentence. Alex Cooper and Sophia Franklin had sexual harassment claims.
That's what I was gonna say. Endless. I know. I was like, you
okay.
mean the guy who's had like several credible sexual assault allegations against him?
Yeah,
like
I'm just sorry. I'm certain that Alex Cooper and Sophia Franklin were sexually harassed at Barstool.
I'm sure,
Like
without a
I
doubt.
think
without
the
a
only
doubt.
women on that entire platform. Or
At
there's
the
some other
time.
women?
There's two other young women
Okay.
who have. There's a couple other women who have
Now
shows
there
now.
are,
But
yeah.
like women who were that powerful at Barstool,
Yeah. No.
nobody.
Nobody.
And I'm just like, there's not a doubt in my mind
The
that they were
vibes,
sexually
yeah,
harassed.
the
Now,
vibes are strong there.
did they come to him and say we want out of our contracts?
Probably.
And if you won't let us out, we're going to say all these things that happened. Maybe, but was it
They,
untrue?
they were using the leverage they had.
Yeah, no, I think that that's totally, yeah. And he said that he intentionally fueled distrust between the hosts and he leaked information in a way that caused the women to suspect the
He
other.
does seem personality disordered in
He
that
seems
way.
extremely personality disordered.
Also, like going back to the Tom Brady thing, he's so upset because he's like, you're being so cringy, you're being so weird. This is a gentleman who has been following all of the drama between Alex Earl and Alex Cooper so hard that he made trucker fucking hats.
Does
about
it, does it explain the feud? Because I still cannot make
Well,
sense of
apparently
it.
Alex Earl's going to talk about it on her upcoming Netflix.
You know my
Ooh.
theory.
What? Tell me.
Oh, it's
I mean,
really,
I
it's
think I do know
really
your theory, but-
controversial.
Give it to me.
My theory is that Matt Kaplan,
Uh-huh.
That's the
hit-
husband.
That's the
of Alex
husband.
Cooper.
Got it.
Matt Kaplan hit on Alex Earl or said something or did something that felt like, and not I don't know. I mean, I guess I'd call it sexual harassment, but like he has all these allegations of things that he did that are weird to other unwell employees.
Staffers.
And I would say, that's my guess, is that he said or did something to Alex
Inappropriate.
Earl that was
Interesting.
inappropriate,
Yeah.
and that's why
I
it
could see
hasn't
that.
come out yet. But it also is in character for him. But anyway, I think to me, I'm like, Dave, you want to talk about fucking cringy? Like
I know,
you're
it's
a
so embarrassing.
I thought that was
50-year-old
his
man.
brand.
Yeah, he's the cringiest.
I don't think he thinks he's cringy.
No, I don't think so. And I think that the people who like him think he's cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm like
Ugh.
a little protective of Tom Brady in this scenario.
I have like a pretty strong dating rule where if a man early on is like, oh, I really like Barstool or I really like Joe Rogan, I'm like, I just don't think that's like something that we can work through as a couple.
Do you think that Barstool and Joe Rogan are
Tied?
Equivalent.
100%.
You do?
Yes. I mean, like, I think that they are.
They're
I think,
portals to one another.
I think like a Venn diagram that is not
but
quite
like
a flat
Barstool is
circle.
all sports, or is it
No.
pop culture and
Yeah, it's bro culture that originally started around sports. Does that feel fair?
Okay.
Yeah, I would say it's like TMZ of sports in some way. And
Okay.
so I guess what I'm saying is, can we separate the art from the artist? Because because
not
occasionally
when it's all about talking
well,
and speaking your opinions.
yes. Here's my thought. Occasionally, I will like go to do something for research for the show, and somebody who, you know, has a journalism background, probably not a master's, but you know, undergrad majored in
Sure.
it, will have written an article for Barstool that I'm like, oh, well, this is factually accurate about a
Oh,
sports
I
thing
see,
that's
I see.
happening.
Yeah.
And so it's not misinformation,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
how, you know, so
Yeah.
to me, that's where it feels very different than Rogan,
Yeah.
where like I do think that Rogan doesn't. The thing about Rogan is Rogan's just Rogan. Barstool is like it's
Other
videos.
people.
That's
it's,
true.
Like
that's
you
true.
know,
That's true.
Freelance
That's
writer.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay.
I guess
I like that.
when I think of Barstool, I'm thinking of Dave Portnoy.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. He's
Yeah.
become so
So
synonymous.
synonymous
You
with
can't
it.
separate that from
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
I knew a woman. He still does this, and you know the criticism will be like, "Oh, you just couldn't get it." Is he does this thing called Smoke Show of the Day?
Oh, wasn't that how Alex
God.
Cooper started? I'm
Can-
pretty
can
sure
you
that
explain?
Alex Cooper was
I'm
like.
inferring what it is.
She might have
but-
been, but I totally see how she could have been.
Yeah.
But basically, like you could submit a woman,
This is how Alex.
and you know like
They rate if she's hot.
not rate if she's hot. They just determined that she was hot and they'd take photos of her and they'd put them up and whatever. And so she had to give her consent to do this. Like, okay. So hold on. I know someone who was approached to be the smoke show of the day.
Okay.
And it had specifically to
So like
do
sexy photos.
they're not sexy necessarily. They would literally rip them off your fucking Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, it was 2008. It'd be like a girl with a red Solo cup, like dancing.
This
Yeah.
is how Alex
like,
Cooper started.
yes,
She was a
this
smoke
totally makes
show of the
sense.
day,
Yeah.
and then
Well-
yes, now I know it.
Well, and
yeah.
it was very Boston-y.
yes.
So that was the other thing.
Yep.
So I know somebody who was approached to be smoke show of the day. And part of it hinged on where she worked. I'm not going to say where she worked, but part of it hinged on where she worked, which was a place that had a ton of prestige. Okay. Actually, I'll say this. She worked for a Boston sports team.
Okay.
Okay. So, like, it's not like.
Codes of conduct. Or
Yes.
So they wanted her to be smoke show of the day, specifically in the uniform that she wore for the team.
Oh.
And she said, no, thank you, across the board. I
Yeah.
don't want to be smoke show of the day. I don't want to be involved with
No,
this.
thank you.
Oh,
No, thank you.
I know where this is
So
going.
then they took photos of her in her work uniform and posted them all and basically did a post about how she was such a snob because she refused to be smoke show of the day. This is a girl I went to college with.
I hope
Yeah.
that wasn't a problem for her at work because she
It
refused.
Did not end up being a problem for her at work. But to
But
me,
it's still like
that
huge,
is
like
a
I think it's a
violation.
huge violation. Yeah.
But
Right.
it sounds like she's a semi-public figure.
I can guess who she
Yes.
probably
Yeah.
is. I mean, not her specifically, but I can guess.
she was not a dancer
Oh.
or a cheerleader.
Oh,
That was not what I was.
Yeah,
I was
guessing.
thought
No, no,
I
no,
was
no,
thinking
no.
that too, which
She-
makes her like
No, no,
kind
no.
of public.
No, she was public-y. I'll tell you guys off mic.
Okay.
She was public-y because people would figure out who it was.
Yes, yes, yes.
But she was not somebody who
She's
was
not a cowboy cheerleader.
Yeah.
No.
Who's like
Right,
out,
right.
out,
Yeah.
No.
Because then I'm like,
no.
that's free reign. It's like saying,
No.
an actress is hot.
No.
Okay.
And so to me, and I mean,
It's a
this happened when Barstool
violation.
was still coming
Yeah.
up, but to me, that was the thing about the bar. That's where it took
beginning.
everything away from it, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this idea that these women had consent. No,
Or
you don't have
agency.
consent.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's why I
Is
think
it a
the Barstool.
gateway
I'm like,
to our culture?
That's what I think.
I
Is
think
so
the
too.
second that a woman says, no, you can't take the photos of me.
What a
then-
snob.
Right.
Yes, exactly. This is what I'm saying. Is
That
if a
is
man
the-
came to me and was like, "I love ESPN, I love sports, I love it," like whatever.
My husband
like, is it-
listens to Dan Lebitard. Dan.
I don't. But to me, I'm saying like it's
he's
Oh, my
different
husband
than
watches
Miami-
all sorts of
Miami.
ESPN,
But it's
but he doesn't read
different-
Barstool, thank God.
That's right, because it's different from Barstool.
Mike doesn't even know what's happening on a computer. No, I'm just kidding.
Do you know what I'm saying though? Is like that's what I mean. Is it's not about the sports, or it's not that. It's like sure there could be a journalistic piece in there, but it's like Barstool. If you are comfortable consistently going to a place like Barstool, you're comfortable with like a lot of
But that's
things
a
that
good
would
story
make
of,
me
like-
uncomfortable.
Yeah, and that's where for me at the time, this was when Barstool
So it
was really
turned.
still up and coming. This
Yeah.
was probably 2007, 2008. And that for me was like, oh, like at first I was just sort of like, oh, it's like a funny thing. And like all my guys,
Yeah.
all the guys are in
At
their
the
early
time,
20s.
yeah.
They think it's
it's
funny.
Totally.
it's a
But that's where it
boundary
changed.
crossing that then gives you shed some light on what might be happening. Which in
Yes.
some ways, like I imagine it's a difficult place for Alex Cooper.
Well, and that's when they're like, we were sexually harassed. I'm like, well, I literally
I
watched
would
you
believe
sexually
that.
harass a woman on
Yeah.
the internet who begged you not to do it.
Yes,
Unsurprising.
yes.
Yeah, right. Like,
Objectified
yeah.
her, right? When
Right.
it could be a
And she
problem
could
for
have lost
work.
her job.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And like I don't know, like nobody,
Real life
somebody should want
implications.
that. Like if you want to be the smoke show of the day, like
my
sure,
God,
but
yes,
like
yes.
yeah, like go for it. But if you don't want that, it's like terrible.
That's what we're talking about the consent piece. And that's the problem with a Dave Portnoy. And
Yeah.
so, you know what? If you're mad because Tom Brady's at the World Cup like this, which, by the way, you guys, I am a fucking CEO of doing this. Like, I love doing this. I do it all the time. I was with
CEO
my
of doing
cousins
this.
over the weekend. I'm like,
they're giving their
Yeah,
vows, and you're
at
like
the- at the
"Hell
wedding."
yeah."
not at the wedding, but like I think if you think flipping off your middle finger to somebody who's your friend is cringy.
Oh no, we're at the next level.
Yeah.
Like I think the middle finger to friends is so,
It's so fun.
It's
yeah.
so fucking
I agree.
fun.
Sorry, Dave Portnoy, you're wrong.
Also, he's like with his kids, and I don't know if you looked at the photos. His kids, are very cute,
Yeah.
whatever. But like the kids in every photo are like,
Like dad's embarrassing.
yeah,
yeah.
and like he's probably like, you guys check it out.
Yeah, he doesn't need you, Dave. He's got his
Okay.
kids to tell him he's great.
One time when I was living in Boston, I was running around Jamaica Pond where I used to run a lot, and I was running like sort of like next to this woman, and I was just like, wow, that's a really beautiful woman, like and
Is that
then
Giselle?
And I was like, oh, wait, that's a really beautiful woman. That's Giselle. So Giselle
mean
and I
the-
were
the-
running buddies for a little while.
We were raised on Giselle.
I know.
know.
Being
I know.
like the icon of beauty.
But it
Yeah.
was so funny because it was like, like it was just like my brain went, oh, that's a beautiful,
Yeah,
like
you just
you're-
clocked
like an,
it.
like
Yes.
an Amazon.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
But it was like she wasn't like
Made up.
made up or anything. And then we stopped at the same like intersection, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
So that's how that happened. Should we have a friend ask us a question?
I would love that.
Okay.
Okay. So here is our question. This is our segment, Asking for a Friend, which is like a workshopped name, but we're keeping it for now. But if you guys have a better idea, please let us know.
Also, submit your questions.
Yes. Oh
We're
my God, you
taking
guys,
questions.
please send us your questions. You can DM them to me on Instagram. I'm checking my DM requests, even though most of them just say skank whore.
Mine tell me that I have a thyroid problem, which
Oh,
is like
you're-
somehow worse.
Listen, okay, so basically the way that it works is like for about a year on the internet, you're gonna get thyroid problems. Like everybody that I know has gone
Let me
through.
see. Let me
Thyroid
see your
problem?
neck. Oh,
No.
I don't see it.
I don't think so.
And then when I've
the
said
eyes
to
aren't
people,
bulging. Okay.
I don't have, like,
yeah,
a-
I don't
No.
know what's going on.
when I have written back to people and been like, I don't, and this is actually dangerous, they're like, I'm trying to save your life.
I know that's what I got. I mean, I didn't write back,
it's
but
it's the N of one. It's like that house flipper, Tarek something. Do you know? Like he's like a wife and a husband, and someone actually did an audience member on his show.
Yes, people have written to me, and then there was also a weatherman
Who had the same issue.
No, he had skin cancer.
Okay.
and they're like, oh, but there was, and I'm like,
It's-
you're not
it's
telling me I have
typically-
skin cancer.
Also, it's typically like a physician in that specialized area that's
Yeah.
able to
Right. Oh, no,
identify.
no. Someone sent me an email. This was like probably 2 years ago now that they were like, hey, I just want to reach out to you because I can tell that your lip filler has migrated and it's going to go into your brain.
Okay.
I actually think that it's
How?
so dangerous.
dangerous.
To email people things like
It
that.
is
It's
really
like, I actually
dangerous,
think it's
yeah.
like deeply
it's deranged.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's
because
deranged.
in a world where we all know health is so fragile.
Health, yeah.
And you don't know what's actually going on,
On with someone's
somebody.
body.
And you don't know if
Yes.
someone already has health anxiety.
Right.
right, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Believe me, I called my
Like,
people,
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
and like I also
terrible.
don't think it comes from a good faith place. And so I wrote back to them and they never wrote back to me. But I'm like, if you're gonna send me this medical
Maybe this is the
information,
benefit of being a doctor. I don't get those.
That's true. Yeah.
I know. Maybe I should go to med school just for that.
Just for this.
Why are
Well,
you? What drove you to medicine? I really was sick of getting comments
About my
online. How often
thyroid.
was that happening? Like once a quarter.
Well, in other words,
Okay.
DM us your questions.
Yes.
Don't DM us your medical advice.
So here's one. I've been with the same company for almost 5 years and have enjoyed it, but I'm pretty sure I'm well underpaid. I've brought this up before, and I'll get a small merit raise after each glowing performance report. But to be frank, it's not enough anymore. To the question, if I manage to get an offer elsewhere, should I entertain giving my current job the option to match the offer, or is it better to cut and run with a new company?
Who wants to go first?
Sarah, you look like you have something to say.
Well, as a business owner who's, had some times of like needing to reach profitability and like being slim on what I can spend, like I don't necessarily think that, those small merit raises like reflect how a boss or a company feels about your performance. As a boss, I'd say, please let them match the offer. Please let them, especially if you enjoy working there. But if there's other reasons that you don't want to be there, it's a nice way to get out.
I would say, I mean, I'm diabolical. I'm saying let them match that offer and then bring it to the other company and let them match that offer.
But what if
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like basically the same?
Same, yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, if it ends up being the same, like if it's
Fine,
the
fine.
same,
Oh,
but I'm
she's
saying
like,
like, I'm
negotiate
like,
for
I would, yeah,
yourself.
I would be
I
like,
do think quality of life and how you enjoy your work, because we spend so much time doing it, is important. And
it took me
sometimes
years to
that's
figure
like,
that out. Yeah.
I mean, I think now the way that most jobs work in the corporate world are you're not at a job for 25 years
Yeah,
like you
not
used to
anymore.
be, right?
Definitely
Like
not.
so
5
this-
years is like a good.
but I think we should go back to some of that.
maybe, but like I guess my point is if this is a company that you are really excited about and you are
Yes.
interested in, like it's always the devil you don't know.
Yes.
And so I don't just stay in something because it's safe necessarily.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I changed job once for a I changed job. Ugh.
I
Blah,
hear
blah,
her.
blah, blah,
I
blah.
understand. I got it.
She changed
You
jobs
for a
once.
salary
For
increase.
a salary increase. And I did regret it. But
Why?
I'm just it wasn't maybe the fit culturally. It was maybe not worth the additional money, but it was like a good of what is going on? I got marbles in my mouth.
I know.
today.
I
Things
also
are-
think,
yeah.
I also think, like this is something that I learned sort of late in my career. To both of your points, is deciding what actually matters to you
Yes.
in a job.
Yes.
So for many
Like
many
work
years,
from home or flexibility.
right?
What
For-
are the benefits like? What's the healthcare like in 2026?
Well, and what
Yes.
do you want? For many, many, many years, I made every job decision off of like, who is this going to get me next to? How is
Yes.
this going to affect my network? What awards am I going to get
That
to win?
mattered to like that
It
was
mattered
important.
to me a ton,
Yeah.
but it didn't ever occur to me, never, ever, ever, to be like, hey, how will this affect my peace? How will this affect my ability to have my own life? How will I feel nourished and expanded by my job? I never, ever, ever thought about that. And now I think about it a lot where I'm like, okay, like how I think so much less about that, like
prestige
the
or the-
prestige. Yeah,
yeah.
I was a prestige monster.
Well, but also let's go back to this for a second. I'm pretty sure I'm well underpaid. Are you underpaid in terms of your company, or are you underpaid
for your position.
for your position? Like, so
And there's ways to do that research now online.
oh, totally. Like I've worked at places where I'm like, yeah, I probably don't get paid enough, but like neither does the person sitting next to me.
Yeah,
neither does that
yeah,
person.
yeah, for sure.
There are, you
Yeah.
know, like whether you were working
Yeah.
for NPR or something, but it's like, okay,
But
nobody.
that's a sacrifice you make to be
right.
in that.
But if you're like, oh, I know that everybody else here is like making bank.
yeah,
Yeah.
if
I'm
you work
not
at
making
Google,
enough. That's
yeah,
different.
yes,
Then
yes.
just, hey, I'm working at a place that like the salaries, unfortunately. But I've worked at places where I know that the salaries might not be the industry, but I know that the quality of life is better
Totally.
than the industry. So like
100%.
I worked at a place where the quality of life was so much better, but no, it didn't pay what some of the other places were making.
Right.
And I was like, it's for me at the time, I was like, it's just not worth messing up the quality of
Yeah,
life.
that's what I'm
100%.
saying. That's exactly what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Is like I really do think,
But it's hard when people want families and things are just so inaccessible and unaffordable. So I also understand just needing to get that high salary for your quality of life.
but that's what I'm saying is like which part of it. Like I said,
It's
for a long time,
values
for
alignment.
me, it's values alignment. For me, for a long time, all I cared about was the prestige, and then I realized that I was like neglecting a huge part of my life. And sometimes the answer is going to be, oh, in order to make my life better, I just need money because I'm a place where my kids are young, or I need to buy a house, or like whatever. Or there's a time in your life where you're like, what I need to make my life feel better is to be like, I get to go with coworkers who
Yeah,
I
to like the
and I
people
get
you work
space.
with.
And sometimes quality of life is the ambition monster like me when I was 30, and like, who am I going to get to work with? Who am I going to get to know? What, like, I think it all depends, but don't neglect one for the other.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
try and come at it as a whole person, is what I would say.
Yeah.
Love that.
Or start your own show with some pals.
Yeah, we're making the big bucks over here.
Yeah, baby.
People probably actually do think that. Someone posted a
know.
graphic about me the other day about how much I make on per video.
Did APAC pay you to talk about
No,
Graham
it
Plattner?
wasn't. No, it wasn't like it wasn't political.
Oh,
They were just saying like, oh,
Is
this
your net worth online?
My net worth is like a dog and the coffee I had this morning.
And they posted about like what they believed because of like some cursory research they've
Oh,
done
oh,
online
oh.
that I was getting paid just per TikTok
How-
video,
how
not like in a
accurate
brand
or
deal.
inaccurate is it?
Deeply inaccurate.
Yeah.
Like they were like, she's making about $500 per TikTok video she makes.
Oh,
I'm like, if
no.
I
No,
did that, I would
think-
literally just lay in my bed all day
Yeah.
and
And do
make
nothing.
TikTok
Totally.
It's like the
videos.
only one, the only one benefiting is Meta.
Yeah.
From the videos
And I don't
I
make
make.
anything on Instagram. I don't
Yeah.
make a dime
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah. No,
So
we are like, just like for clarity on the shows, like we are working women. You know,
I am
like
broke.
yeah, like we get paid exactly enough. Like not even. I have like other. We both have other gigs.
Yeah, we
like
both
we get
get-
paid
yeah.
exactly enough to keep this show afloat because we love making the
no
show.
offense,
and we
if I was
believe in
making
it.
$500 a TikTok,
You would not be fucking here.
I mean, I might be.
just, like,
No, I
doing
would be
something
here,
else,
but
yeah.
you. Let's just say I wouldn't be wearing Steve Madden shoes.
I love this dress, by the way.
Thank you.
Important. Chic.
Thank you. Okay, what's having a moment for you?
The Odyssey.
No.
But she's obsessed.
I love the Odyssey, the original. I loved the movie. I thought
Wait, what's the original?
the original,
poem.
the Homer
poem.
poem.
Okay. I'm like, what is she talking about? Some made-for-TV movie?
You know, the original, the 3,000-year-old epic poem. Yeah, I'm not a particular Christopher Nolan fan, so like take it with a grain of salt, but by far my favorite Christopher Nolan movie. Like by far. It was visually like so rich.
Yeah.
It was like all so
It seems dark.
it is like
Like
visually
Batman dark. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's
Okay.
because it's all in the Mediterranean with
Yeah,
like
it feels very white to me,
it's
actually.
very
Oh,
it's
I must
very
have seen it.
Mediterranean
Okay.
and it's filmed on film and almost entirely the effects are practical. Like the Cyclops is a giant puppet. You know, they added some CGI to it. The Cersei like changing not into it.
I might see it when I can see it at home. It's just too long for me.
It's very long.
It's
I'm
just
going to be
too long.
watching it on 4-minute clips on TikTok.
It's
the
too
way
long.
it was meant to be.
You know what? My moment is enjoying the takedowns and sort of, especially how Christopher Nolan sort of depicts women and the
Always.
women. Sort of
Yes.
takes away all of their power and
Yes.
renders them like lover, friend, wife.
They're always props. For
always
the plot.
props
Yeah.
for the plot, and so
And the plot is always about a
I'm
man's
looking forward
self-discovery.
to more Emma Thompson. Apparently, he's making the Iliad, but as from a women's perspective, I want more from the women's perspectives.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I will admit, I actually love monolith culture. So I'm loving people loving the Odyssey.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not going to see it because I'm still fighting with my 6th grade social studies teacher. She's dead now.
Oh,
but
R.I.P.
oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
you were reading the Odyssey in 6th grade.
She was a fucking bitch. She made me cry. Then she
Oh,
got
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's too young
She
to make
ruined
students cry.
The classics for you.
She ruined a lot of things for me. She made me cry. Then she called. Then because I had gotten in, like I really hadn't done anything wrong. So then my mom wrote
Oh,
a
I
note.
remember this.
No, this is a different one.
Oh.
Yeah, my mom was always like going
We
to
love
only
it.
sometimes. Actually, I shouldn't say that. But anyway, then she and my mom got into a fight. I know it was like iconic. I cried so hard, I almost threw up. I mean, she screamed at me, screamed.
People
so
like that should
guess
not be
what?
teachers.
Sometimes it's not rest in peace, Ms. Walker.
Ooh.
Sorry, Miss Walker.
But anyway, I'll tell you what's having a moment. So what's having a moment for you?
I think the Odyssey's getting this
Wow.
depiction.
This is a house divided.
Yeah.
I
Because
do-
I actually love it's Emily Miller's the new translation. I
Yeah.
kind of want to read it because I read an older one.
Yeah, me too.
And I just want to see how it's changed. And I want to see more of these stories through a female lens.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
I will say two things. One, so he's not good with female characters. Like he really, really isn't. I did like his depiction of Penelope. It was like an enraged Penelope as opposed to like a patient Penelope.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah, no,
she's
no,
pretty
no.
powerful for keeping that household.
Yeah, no. But she has a good
Is that Anne Hathaway?
Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
She has a real powerful monologue where she does say, like, fuck you, this is my house, I took care of it. Then the other thing I will say is I have deep, like, I loved the Odyssey. It was really fun for me. And I hate aligning with bro culture. Like, I recognize, like,
Maybe
it
I
is my
just
deep
can't.
shame
Can't.
to be like, yeah, I loved a Christopher Nolan movie.
On 70 millimeter.
It's on 70 millimeters,
Did you see
bro.
it on 70 millimeter?
Bro, of course it's on 70 millimeter.
I
How am I
s-
not going to see
Oh
it on
yeah,
70
so it's
millimeter?
like getting cut off for like a big part of the population.
Yeah.
Well, I saw this guy on TikTok yesterday who was like, yeah, I'm going to like a 10 a.m. and then I'm going to like a 2 p.m. and then
Oh, I
I'm
saw
going to
this,
like a
yeah.
whatever. And people were like, why are you doing that? He's like, people work so hard on this movie. The least that I can do is just like keep showing up. I'm like, you know what? I never say this. Get a job.
Get a fucking job.
Get a fucking job.
Get a job and then ask
Well,
for a
there's
raise.
like there's other films
What's
out
having
there.
a moment for you?
Well, I just finished Yesteryear.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of that.
I just finished
Kind
Yesteryear.
of got stuck. I'm stuck in the middle.
Really?
Yeah.
When
She's like at college. Maybe it's the beginning.
Well, it kind of goes back and forth. That's
Okay,
the
fine.
thing that I would
Fine,
say
fine,
about
fine.
it. But like I was entertained, I would say. It's not to be like, man, but like it's not incredibly sophisticated writing. So I will
Noticed
say
that.
that. Like there's
Yeah.
some parts where I'm like, really? That's the best metaphor we could come
also,
up with?
there's something to get into. The author apparently lied in an interview at some point about having a child.
Really?
There's something very, very weird.
Huh.
Fact check me on this, but it was like an interview where she sort of said that she did, but it was very clear that you could fact check that she doesn't. Like, very strange.
Well, at the end of the book, in the did she say what the gender was?
No.
Although gender is a social construct. Because at the end of the book, she says, if I ever have a daughter, like, you know, I wrote this book for you.
Okay.
Huh. A pre-dedication?
Yeah.
To be discussed. More to dig in there.
Anyway,
Interesting.
How did it become so popular is my question.
I think it's because for the most part, no one has written a book
Trad
that
wife.
focuses on trad wives
Okay.
that isn't like a, I don't know.
Cultural deep dive.
Yeah. And so I think this idea, and especially like it's hitting at this really interesting time where I feel like Ballerina Farm, Hannah Nealman is coming out and being like, yeah, I'm kind of not a trad wife. Like, I work really hard. I have a business.
Yeah.
I run it. My husband is like part of this.
I have the
and-
aesthetic of a trad wife.
aesthetic of
but-
a trad wife, but whatever. And then at the same time, I think like we're also, because of our current administration, we're also like having the birther movements.
Yes.
And then throw it in, like Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
yeah, why is
like,
that getting a reboot?
I think they thought it was safe. I think Netflix was like, who could be mad about this? And
no
are
one's
mad
going to
about it.
create new IP
Yeah.
in 2026. Like
Oh,
it's
so
just
sad.
I don't know. I mean,
People have so many ideas. Why? Why Little House on the Prairie?
well,
Just watch the original if
Yeah.
you want.
well, the originals,
Dated.
it's a little dated. There's some blind spots that need
Or
to
read
be
the book.
addressed.
Read the book. Didn't
there's
age well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Maybe we just don't need it.
Maybe we just don't need it.
No, we don't need it. That's why I told you I'm watching Teen Mom 2 on my phone as a clip.
There you
Clips,
go.
clips,
There you
clips.
go.
Fucking great.
There you go.
You guys, thanks so much for hanging out. We will be back on Friday with Paula Poundstone.
So fun. Bye, guys.